guys, it's me, Down Under Tea, and I'm back with episode 150 of Meet Me in the Bunker. I've just been listening to the audio on my iPad, and I'm praying that this is not as squealy and as noisy and as terrible sounding for you as it is for me. And unless I stop the stream right now and go back and check it, I'm not going to be able to tell. So if anybody out there is listening, can you please tell me if you are getting any background noise, if you're hearing the clips or not hearing the clips, because I'm here on my own and the only interaction I have is with myself and this camera. So if you're out there and any of you have got me turned on, please let me know what's going on. So, where are we today? Like, oh, I did it again. Oh my God, I did it again. I did it again. No volume. I didn't turn up my own volume. So I will start again and introduce myself. Hi guys, it's me, Down Under Tea, and we are back with episode 150 of Meet Me in the Bunker. I just said all of that, but you saw my lips moving and no sound coming out. I didn't turn up the volume. Now, what I was saying was, I've just been watching the audio, listening to the audio through my iPad on this live stream, and it was extremely noisy and scratchy, and I feel like I'm having the same problems that I had a couple of streams ago, even though I have changed no settings on my account. It's just beyond my comprehension how this happens, but I'm praying that if there is any background noise or if it sounds terrible, because the only way I can check now is by stopping the stream and then rebooting the stream and then coming back and starting all over again, which really I can't be bothered doing. So please, if anybody's out there, let me know if the sound is not very good or corrupted or scratchy with a lot of echo in the background. Please let me know if you're out there. What are we doing? What are we talking about today? Well, I think it's pretty obvious what we're going to have to talk about today, and that is the fall of Minneapolis Mark II. As everybody knows, a couple of days ago there was an ICE shooting of a protester, and let's not mince words here, she was a protester. Yes, she was a mother. Yes, she was a lesbian. Yes, she was a protester. She was in fact in charge or involved in an ICE Watch program that did exactly what you saw her doing that day when she died. Now, there's left pointing at right and right pointing at left. But what's happening here? Nothing is going to be achieved except, as I said, the Summer of Love 2.0 in the middle of winter. Now, personally, I don't wish that anybody is killed, but when you interfere with a police operation, and that goes for anyone, anywhere, not even if you're protesting, if you just try and mess with the police while they're doing some sort of operation, you're signing your own death warrant. Seriously, you are. Because just remember, they've got the guns. They're allowed to have the guns. Now, this lady, she may have been allowed to have a gun too. Who knows? She may have had a gun in the car. Who knows? We don't know. But here's the thing. She hit the officer with her car. Now, regardless of what Jacob Fry has to say, oh, he walked off with a hip injury that he could have got bumping the fridge door closed. Are you for real? Like, seriously, are you for real? Because I don't believe that would be your attitude if it was you that was hit by a protester. I really don't. I believe you would be screaming blue murder to everybody and anybody that would listen to say that you were nearly run down by a police officer or whoever, and there were no consequences for it because nobody stuck up for you. I don't think anyone would stick up for you anyway if you did get hit by a car. But the case in point is the woman knew what she was doing. She may not have been aiming to hit the police officer, but she was in control, well, not very good control, of a 2-ton vehicle that could have just as easily run him over as bruised his hip. And he might have broken his hip. He might have ruptured his spleen. He could have dislodged a kidney and dying on the inside. He could have had internal bleeding. She was foot to the floor when she was taking off. Do you know how much speed, do you know how much impact, do you know how much weight is behind a car when you are flatten it? And she was skidding. You could see the wheels spinning. And obviously the latest body cam video leaves everybody without a single doubt that that officer was hit. So the choice is yours to make, but if you can't see the forest for the trees, then that's your problem. This needs to go to an investigation, which it will, as all officer involved shootings do have an internal investigation. This one's being handled by federal because he was a federal officer. And the government in Minnesota is jumping up and down saying, no, you're stealing our case. Well, sorry, it's not a case for you because it's a federal officer. He was a federal ICE agent and he was working on behalf of the federal government. So, make what you will of the rules of the law where it specifically states that you cannot interfere or impede with a police investigation or a legal investigation, a law enforcement investigation. And you cannot deny that ICE are part of the law enforcement community at large, because just because they wear fatigues, green fatigues, doesn't make them any less part of the blue line. So where are these other cops standing up for their fellow law enforcement colleagues? Who is that big guy that's obviously on steroids standing there next to Jacob Fry and going on all the shows with Jacob Fry? Sounds to me like that man just wants his face on television. Looks like it to me by his behaviour. He has condemned his fellow colleagues, his fellow law enforcement colleagues, without even looking at the body cam because it wasn't released. They're trying to say that the officer fled the scene. Now, he fled the scene to the hospital. He could have been bleeding internally. He could have had a broken hip, a fractured hip. He could have had anything. He could have had a twisted ankle from when she pushed him and he lost his balance and nearly fell on his ass. And don't say that he wasn't hit, because he was hit. Personally, I actually believe he didn't mean to discharge his firearm. Me and my group of friends, we believe that he actually accidentally discharged the firearm after being hit. And wouldn't surprise me if that's what happened. He was gun drawn, trying to trying to warn her to stop and get out of the vehicle as she had been ordered several times, and her agitating girlfriend on the other side of the vehicle told her to drive. Drive, baby, drive. So now she's implicated as well. She has now got herself. She better get a lawyer. She better get a good one, because the one that she was living with is now deceased. Because that's what they're saying, that Renee Good was a lawyer or a legal advisor for these marches, for this anti-ICE group that she was involved in, ICE Watch. So you tell me, if you encourage somebody to drive away from an officer who's ordering you to exit the car, is that person legally responsible? Should she be held accountable for the death of her partner? I believe she should. I certainly believe that the officer, who has now been named and exposed, so I'm sure his family's going to cop a lot of grief. I hope they can withstand the storm. But I believe that he was in fear of his life. And we all know why. Because 6 months ago, in the same town, in the same city, he was dragged for 100 metres up the road and severely injured. So where do you come from when you want justice for the protester and jail for the law enforcement officer that was only protecting his own life and the lives of his colleagues? He never told her to drive. The officers at her window never told her to drive. They certainly never told her to drive. The distinct instruction was, get out. Get out of the car. Who's yeah, there it is. Who's fucking around here? Because if you ask me, it's the protesters. They're coordinated. They're paid. They admit that they're paid. And so, who's to blame? Let's have a look at the clip and find out. So this is the clip that has just been released. This is the body cam of the ICE officer, and the alleged, oops, oh, why isn't it picking it up? Yeah, there we go. You should be able to see it now, hopefully. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it too, because as I said, I'm having a bit of drama with this stupid interface again, and I don't know whether it's hissing like crazy or screeching or whatever in the background. So this is the body cam from the officer who took the shot, took 3 shots apparently, and you can distinctly hear Rebecca, is her name, Rebecca say to Renee, drive baby, drive, drive. So we're going to play this. And okay. Listen again. Okay, so first of all, she's hurling insults at the officer, calling him fat, saying, "Oh, you should probably go get some lunch, big boy," which is definitely an accusation of him being overweight, because well, he needs to eat because he's getting hangry. Well, he may have been hangry, and your girlfriend suffered the consequences because you egged her on. You, Rebecca, egged on your wife to drive, baby, drive, drive. Who is at fault? The man that just got slammed across the bonnet of the Honda, or the woman that told her to drive? I think the answer is pretty damn clear if you ask me. But regardless of that, this woman was hanging around all day doing this, aiding and abetting her fellow protesters to impede this operation. So she should be charged for that, as well as encouraging a person to drive their vehicle into the line of fire, which is exactly what she just did in that clip. Now, you distinctly heard the officer coming towards the car in this position right here, saying, "Get out of the car, get out of the car, get out of the fucking car," is what he says. And that is when the other officer is drawing his weapon, and this woman here, Rebecca, tells Renee to drive, baby, drive, drive. There is no question about it. It is open and shut, black and white. He got hit. She told her to drive. Had she said, "Stop, baby, get out. Stop, baby, stop," none of this would have happened. "Stop, baby, get out." She murdered her own girlfriend. She did. She did. And it must rest on her shoulders. She's already apparently taking blame, as seen in the footage earlier, where she's weeping. Where she's weeping on the sidewalk, saying that she blames herself. "It's my fault, it's my fault, I made her come." Now, I don't believe that she made her come to this particular event. I believe what she's saying there is, "I turned her into this crazed lunatic." That's what I believe. Because this woman was a heterosexual mother of 3 children. Obviously not a very good mother, because when her first husband divorced her, he took the kids. Then she married a man who died, what a coincidence, and she got custody of the kid. Their child was whom you can hear Rebecca saying, "I've got a 6-year-old in school." Not her 6-year-old, Renee's 6-year-old. Yes, Renee, the woman that spent her days stopping ICE agents from removing serial murderers and rapists, drug cartel leaders, gang members, and taking them out of the community to make the community safe. These women were protesting that. They were protesting the safety of Minnesotans. And you might as well just put that in all the states that are suffering these actions by these troublemakers, warmongers. These people are warmongers. They are trying to create war within the country. Civil war. You have governments praising them, egging them on, telling them, don't stop now. I beg you to all come out and protest peacefully, patriotically. Does that sound familiar? Doesn't that sound familiar? Who else who else in our short history do we know that told his patriots to peacefully protest the election of 2020? Peacefully and patriotically protest. Now it's a buzzword for these Democrats, even though they know full well that none of these protests are ever peaceful. They're never peaceful. We have video of a woman admitting she's being paid. Like, she's admitting that she's being paid. You saw that. Here's the shot. This has gone viral. It was Laura Ingraham. She was out in the streets of Minnesota like she was last time Minnesota burned, asking a protester why she's there. And there you go. Like, you can see, these people don't care because they're getting paid. They're getting paid dollars from George Soros's of the world, and they're paid. There is video of women admitting they quit their jobs to do this full time because it's more lucrative. It's actually more lucrative for them to spend their days protesting law enforcement officers or whatever cause they're told that to protest that day is what they go out and do. Now, are they paying tax? Are they declaring these funds? Who's funding them? Where has it come from? Vice President Vance said it best. Who's paying for the brick that gets thrown at the officer? Who's paying for the pallets that get delivered? Pallets of bricks that get delivered to certain areas. Surprisingly and coincidentally, just before an ICE operation is to take place. Why aren't we comparing this? Why do we have men like Stan Goldman immediately jumping to this man should be tried for murder when 5 years ago, when Ashley Babbitt was unarmed and shot while climbing through a window, unarmed, right? And to this day, I still don't believe she was climbing through of her own volition. I believe that she was forced into that position and had no other choice because she was getting squashed by all the people in there. and that was it. Bird didn't have. Bird didn't. He wasn't frightened for his life. He wasn't encountering a 2-ton vehicle coming through that door at him. Yet he killed her anyway. He could have shot a warning shot into the floor, into the wall. He could have. He didn't. He shot directly at her neck and murdered her right there on the spot, just like Charlie. Straight in the neck. Bleed out. Minutes. It, it, it confounds me that people cannot make the comparisons if the scenario, the narrative doesn't fit their scenario, or the scenario doesn't fit their narrative, rather. Why do you have to be objectively false about everything? Why do you have to objectively lie to the faces of your constituents every day in regards to this bullshit? Some of them are backtracking, like I said, Jacob Fry now says, oh yeah, well, he could have got a bruise shutting the fridge door. No. Never, Jacob, have I ever been bruised shutting the fridge door. And as a mother who's always constantly taking certain things out of the fridge at once to make, say, sandwiches, we'll grab the bread, the marge, the tomato, the lettuce, and we'll have it all in our hands, and we'll close the fridge door with our hips. We do it all the time. Never have I had a bruise. Never had I suffered a fracture of my hip bone or thigh bone, or had internal bleeding or broke my spleen or anything like that from doing it. But I challenge you to find me somebody that has been hit by a car that doesn't have some sort of massive bruising, internal injuries, or broken bones. This officer was extremely lucky, only because he was trying to get out of the way. Like I said, I believe that when the gun went off, it was at the point that he'd been hit. Let's go back to the other clip and we can watch it again, because I think you can actually hear the gun go off as he's going, ugh! So, almost simultaneous. He gets hit, the gun goes off. Listen. So, the first initial shot is taken as he is struck by the car. The second 2 shots, in quick succession after that first shot, he was hit by the vehicle. He either had his finger on the trigger, which he probably shouldn't have had, but I believe the impact caused him to discharge that firearm. So you can only hear 2 more shots after he moans, and 3 shots were taken. And that's all she wrote, folks. It could have been an accidental discharge because of her recklessness. One could argue he shouldn't have had his finger on the trigger, but he didn't know whether he was going to have to pull it or not. Her interference with his body caused that reaction. Her interference and her girlfriend's urging for her to drive off is what caused this whole thing. Just like when George Floyd was murdered, Officer Chauvin and the other three officers all followed their manual. All of them. They followed the manual. What did the left do when they found out that it was in the manual? They destroyed the pages. That is fact. And if you haven't watched the fall of Minneapolis, I urge you to sit with me and watch it today and see what led to $2 billion worth of damage in that town. It led to people losing their business, their homes, their livelihoods, and their lives. Is this what we are to become? Iran is on fire. They're chasing the Ayatollahs out of the country. People are sick of it. And as a warning to these protesters, I would say to you, stay home. Protest another way. Don't block traffic. Don't impede operations. Don't advocate on behalf of rapists and murderers who are in your country illegally. Don't advocate on the behalf of Somalians who are ripping Minnesotans, hard-working Minnesotans, not these people, hard-working Minnesotans, the people that can't go out and defend ICE because they've got to go to work, because nobody pays them to protest against the protesters, which is really what we need to do, is we need to go out and protest the protesters and protect ICE and protect these operations. There's got to be some sort of community group spirit to back these people, to prevent these terrorists, is what I'm going to call them, domestic terrorists, from impeding these operations. There's got to be some sort of channel to a group that can be said, that can be told, this is where we will be operating today. We need 500 bodies to help us block the surrounding neighbourhood before anyone else can get in. Now, there is an option of razor wire. That would take time. It would also be obvious. But these people are operating on encrypted apps. Why can't the pro-ICE people do that as well? I mean, there's a clip here where, let's just show this one. It's supposedly like funny to some people that there is some people protesting the protesters, as I just said. But sadly, if you take a look at the actual clip, there's not enough of these people to defend a whole battalion of ICE. Let me just get ready. No, not that one. That one. Okay. So this is from... Oh no, this isn't the one that we want. This is the one that I just showed. This one. This is from Nick Sotor, who's very well known now, down on the ground in Minneapolis, along with Nick Shirley. Americans are outside the federal building in Minneapolis blasting Ice Ice Baby and screaming, "Send the daycare scammers back. The Liberals are going to lose their shit." Well, I don't think the Liberals are actually going to lose their shit, Nick, because they don't care. The care factor of these people is zero, right? They obviously don't care if they're prepared to run down police officers, ICE officers. I want to see these crowds actually turn back on the police like they did 6 years ago during George Floyd riots, or 5 years ago during the George Floyd riots. Because they were terrified. That's when they were terrified. Let's see how long they last. if Trump doesn't send federal agents out to protect them like he did last time, like he did in um, Portland when they were burning that to the ground. Let's just watch this, but you see the difference between the anti-ICE and the pro-ICE is vast. Look at them. She's trying to block. Two people. Well, that's great, guys. All two of you stand with ICE. There you go. I, I, I really, I have to say, I'm disappointed that this is not thousands of Minnesotans. What are you doing? Like, many people, the saying was said the other day, many people go to sleep soundly knowing that the other people are willing to do bad things to protect them. These men were willing to do bad things to protect you from the rapists and murderers and illegal immigrants that you share your streets and suburbs with. Is that what you want? Because, fine by me. If I was ICE, if I was in charge of Homeland Security, I would be every single illegal that gets picked up would be assigned to one of those protesters. Yeah. Legally assigned, contracted to that person as their sponsor. No federal funding, no state funding. You got to go out and work to pay for them. You got to go out and work to pay for their asses. Then you won't have time to be protesting or getting killed. It's pretty simple. Stay home, stay alive. Let them do their jobs. Let them protect you from the evil that is roaming around in your streets. You don't want protection? You'll end up like Renee Good. You'll end up like Rebecca, having to deal with the fact that she allowed her lover to be murdered. And before we all forget, this has happened before in Minneapolis. Kyle Rittenhouse went to trial, was acquitted. Why? Because he was defending himself. It was clear. He shot in self-defense. Nothing could be more clear with this case. That gun did not go off until the woman struck him with her vehicle. Clear case of self-defense. I don't care how hard it was. I don't care if it was a feather tap. She hit him with her vehicle and could have killed him he shot in self-defense. You can argue, well, what about the other 2 shots? What about him? She was trying to flee the scene of a crime now. She was fleeing the scene of a crime. After that first shot was fired and she continued to drive, she was fleeing the scene of a crime. And as you will note, that her partner was not in the car. There is video that is out there that shows Renee parking the car, Rebecca getting out and getting ready to film the interactions, right? Then Renee pulls out into the middle of the street. She waves one car through and then she blocks the other car. Now, again, one could argue that the ICE officers could have just remained in their vehicle and drove around her. There was room. Yes, there was room. But at this stage, she was ordered to get out of the car. She was going to be arrested for impeding an ICE operation. She refused to obey the law, the orders, direct orders for her to remove herself from the vehicle. And she could have charged anyone she liked, because she would have been man on man. Right? That's a fair fight. Is a fair fight a man against a car? Is that a fair fight? No, it's not. And you all know it. You all know it. Even you stupid TDS retarded lefties know it. And I've got nothing good to say about you anymore. You say you're protectors of people. You're protecting evil. You're protecting murderers, child rapists. You're protecting drug dealers, cartel leaders, gang members. Where is the good in that? Why aren't you protecting the little old lady that lives next door to you, that's being harassed every day by the group of illegals living in the house across the road? Why aren't you protecting her? Why aren't you protecting the disabled person that has no choice but to be where they are and has to put up with these crappy protests and banging drums 24/7 near the ICE operations centre, the federal buildings? Who are you helping? No one. You're helping yourselves. Helping yourselves to the free money that they're giving out to you to fight for a cause you know nothing about and choose to know nothing about. There was a good meme on X the other day, no, Facebook, sorry, where the chip, the Palestinian chip was removed and then the ICE chip was replaced in the back of the moron's head. The zombie, the synthetic human's head, to notify them that they are now forgotten about Palestine and this is your focus now. Doesn't matter what's happening over there. We don't care about that anymore. Palestine's done. Good. Go. Bye-bye. And we've got to keep this going, but here's your next problem. Go out. Take to the streets. Stupid idiots. Good luck to the people that think they're going to get away with this. The very same afternoon or the very next morning, 2 other immigrants were shot. They fled the scene, so they obviously weren't shot that badly. They fled the scene, called the police on the Customs and Border Patrol agents, and said that they were shot by ICE. And they went to a hospital, and the hospital patched them up, sent them home. Didn't realise that they were illegal. Didn't ask them. No, none of their business. You just fix people as they come in the door. Same with with the jails. These people get released from jail, and the easiest way to do this whole thing would be call up an ICE agent and say, okay, this dude's getting out, we're going to hand him over to you and you can get rid of him on our behalf. Save us state dollars and do it on federal tax dollars. No, they don't want that. What they want is the fall of Minneapolis, as they prayed for before. That's all they want. Seems like they're going to get it, even though the facts bear out to prove without a shadow of a doubt that the gentleman in question who took the shot was struck by a 2-ton vehicle as they tried to flee the scene. So, better get a good lawyer, Rebecca. I'm sure George will afford one for you. Just give him a call, him, Alex. I'm sure they'll fork out hundreds of thousands of dollars to get you the best damn lawyer in the world. Just like they're doing for Charlie's killer. One of the top criminal lawyers in the world. For free. Free! Because we cannot have the perception that he didn't get a fair trial, so we have to give him the best lawyer. Better than the ones that we're going to put up against him. So that we don't look biased. Well, I'm sorry, but that horse has already bolted. Right. So, my aim today is to sit and watch with you guys, if there are any guys, the fall of Minneapolis, which is the aftermath of what happened after the George Floyd riots, and what is seemingly happening again right before our very eyes, with this mania that has taken over. Trump derangement syndrome is now a pandemic. I don't know if Anthony Fauci has come up with a vaccine for that, but maybe he could rush one out, force them to take it, like he did with us. Okay, guys, let us watch this now. I think you will find it's going exactly the same way, and people just seem to have forgotten. People seem to have forgotten the fact that the George Floyd riots almost totally destroyed the city of Minneapolis. What can you do for those people? I just don't know. I don't know, so let's just watch this and see if it makes you feel anything. If you're a Minnesotan or not a Minnesotan, is this what you want happening to the town near you? I certainly don't. No, I don't. Okay. So this film was released in 2023, and it was produced by Liz Collin, and her team went through and documented the whole scenario. So without further ado, enjoy and watch with me the fall of Minneapolis.
This is a state bill from the gentleman. Sorry. The driver in there?
Blue bed.
Oh, which one?
The blue
one over there. Which one?
Yep. Just head back in. They're moving around a lot. Let me see your hands.
Damn, man.
Stay in the car. Let me see your other hand.
I'm sorry.
Let me see your other hand.
Please, Miss Officer.
Both hands.
Do nothing.
Put your fucking hands up right now. Let me see your other hand.
All right. What I do though? What do we do?
Put your hand up there. Put your fucking hand up there. Jesus Christ. Keep your fucking hands on the wheel. Keep your fucking hands on the wheel.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, Miss Officer.
Who else is in the car?
I got shot. That's my friend.
Back
I'm
in.
sorry, Miss Officer. I'm so sorry. God dang, man. Man, I got shot the same way, Miss Officer, before.
Okay, well, when I say let me see your hands, you put your fucking hands up.
I'm so sorry, Miss Officer.
You got them?
Man, dang, man.
Put your hands on top of your head.
Man, Miss Officer. Last time I got shot like that, Miss Officer.
Hands on top of your head. Hands on top of your head. Step out of the vehicle and step away from me, all right? Step out and face away. Step out and face away.
Okay, Miss Officer, please don't shoot me. Please, man.
I'm not going to shoot you. Step out and face away.
I'm looking you eye to eye, man. Please don't shoot me, man.
I'm not shooting you, man.
Please, man. I just lost my mom, man.
No. Step out and face away.
So sorry.
Step out and face away.
Please don't shoot me, Mr. Officer. Please. Don't shoot me, man.
Step out and face away.
Can you not shoot me, man?
I'm not shooting you. Step out and face away.
Okay. Please, man. Please. I didn't know, man.
Get out of the car.
I didn't know, Mr. Officer. I didn't know.
Stop moving. Put your hands behind your back then.
I'm not gonna do nothing.
Face in the floor. Hey, you come back. Stay in the car.
I'm sorry, Mr. Officer. I get on my knees for them. Oh, man.
Stop resisting, man. Yes, you are. Stand up.
Please, man.
Stand up
I
for
want
me.
to go back.
Stand up.
I want to go back, man. I ain't gonna do nothing wrong, man.
Come on, walk with me.
This is like
Walk with me. Walk with me.
my feet, man. God damn, man.
Stand up.
Why you doing me like that?
Stand up.
God damn,
Come on.
man. I just want to stop through.
We're trying to get out of the street here so you don't get hit by a car.
That's it, man. I was looking, man. But I ain't doing anything wrong. That's all I was saying.
Take a seat. Sit down for me.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah,
Officer.
sit down.
Thank you, man. God.
Sit all the way down. Flatten your feet out.
Yes, sir. I will. Please, man. Please, man.
You got an ID on you?
I got one at home.
All right, what's your name?
George.
George?
George Perry Floyd. I don't know what's going on. Man, that's it.
Spell it for me.
G-E-O.
Yep.
R-G-E.
Last name?
Floyd. Yeah, man. F-L-O-Y-D.
F-L-O-Y-D?
Yes.
Date of birth?
And last time I got October 14th.
October 14th?
73. Man, I got shot last time. Same way, man.
If you mind doing me a favor, just run this guy for me. George Floyd. Thank you.
Man, you looking at Mr. I don't want no problem. I ain't gonna do nothing.
Man, you know why we're here?
Why?
We're here because it sounds like you gave a fake bill to the individuals in there.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yes.
And do you know why we pulled you out of the car? Because you was not listening to anything we told you.
Right, but I didn't know what was going on.
You listened to us and we will tell you what's going on, all right? When you're moving around like that, that makes us think way more is going on than we need to know.
Right. And that's all I had was officer.
Gotcha, all right. We're gonna put you in the back of a squad, all right?
So, can I talk to you?
Yeah, we're gonna sort all this out, all right?
Please, man.
Is that your car key?
It's my sister.
Key fob right there?
Yes, sir. Man, I got one problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to that for you, all right? Stand up.
Please, man. All right. Can I give you? Because I was so messing with me. So I was like, right now, I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, and look at you still able to reach your side. You're making me nervous.
That's why I was feeling. I was looking at my wrist. Look at it.
Yeah, I got you. We'll fix all that. We'll fix all that, but you gotta walk with me.
Oh, ouchie,
What
man.
are you on something right now?
I'm not, no, nothing.
Because you acting a little erratic.
Man, it's
Let's go.
scared, man.
Let's go.
God,
You got
man.
foam around your mouth, too?
Yes. Yes, I was just whooping earlier.
Okay.
Man, all right, let me calm down now. This feel a little better now. All right, okay. Miss Officer, you do me one favor, man.
And we're gonna talk about that once we get to the car. Stop moving around.
Hey, man. Oh, man. God, don't leave me, man. Please, man, don't leave me, man. Oh, please don't leave me, man.
Yeah, just unlock the door for me.
I was really thing.
Hey. Stand up. Stop falling down.
I'm claustrophobic, man.
Stand up.
I'm claustrophobic.
Stay on your feet and face the car door.
Please, man. Please.
No.
Please.
Not yet. Keep the door open. Keep the door
I just
open.
want to talk to you, man. Please, let me talk to you. Please.
Man, you ain't listening to nothing we're saying, so we're not gonna listen to nothing you're saying.
I'm claustrophobic.
Face the door.
Please, man. I'm claustrophobic.
I hear you, but you are gonna face this door right now.
Listen up. Stop.
I'll do anything. I'm leaving y'all telling you, man. I'm not existing, man. I'm not. You can ask him. They know me, you know.
Check that side.
God, man, I won't do anything like this, y'all. Why is it going on like this? Look at my wrist, Mr. Officer. I'm not that kind of guy.
Sit still.
Mr. Officer, I'm not that kind of guy. Please. I'm not that kind of guy, Mr. Officer. Please. God. Please. Man, don't leave me by myself, man, please. I'm just claustrophobic. That's it.
Still going in the car. Got anything sharp on you?
I won't do nothing to hurt y'all.
Do you have anything sharp on you?
Sir.
Not even like a comb or nothing?
I don't have nothing. Why y'all doing me like that? I was just please crack it for me and stuff, man.
Stand up straight.
I'm claustrophobic for real, Mr. Officer.
You got him?
Could you please crack it for me, please?
Yes, I'll
Remember my
crack
name.
it.
Stay
I
with me,
will.
man.
I will.
Please stay with me, man. Thank you. God, man. I didn't know all this was gonna happen, man. Please, man. I just want my hands free. I don't gonna do nothing, y'all, man. Nothing.
Here, you get that inside in
And
the
I
pocket real
understand-
quick on your side?
Hey,
On
Mr.
the
Officer,
front. I'm listening.
And I understand that people do stuff and y'all don't know me.
Let's go.
Take a seat.
Okay.
Why are you having trouble walking?
Because my hands
roll
are
the
hurt.
windows down,
We will,
okay?
please, man. Please don't do this.
Take a seat.
I'm going in, Mr. Officer. I'm going
No,
in.
you're not.
I gotta go in.
Take a seat.
Grab a seat, man.
Why y'all don't believe me, Mr. Officer?
Take a seat.
I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not that kind of guy, man.
Take a seat.
No, I'm a tired.
Take a
I'm a
seat.
tired, man.
You need to take a seat right now.
And I just had COVID, man. I don't want to go back to that.
Take a
Hey,
seat.
I'll roll the windows
No.
down. Hey, listen.
Dang, man.
Listen.
I'm not that kind of guy.
I'll roll the windows down
Please,
and you
man.
point the legs in, all right? I'll
Y'all
put the air on.
God, look at that. Look
Look,
at
you're
that.
not even listening.
Look at it. Look at it.
We can fix it, but not while you're standing out
Okay,
here.
man. God, y'all do me bad, man. Man, I don't want to try to win. I don't want to try to win.
Quit resisting, bro.
I don't want to win. I'm claustrophobic.
You ain't gonna win, bro.
I'm claustrophobic and I got anxiety. I don't want to do nothing to them.
You made a mistake
start breathing, it's gonna go off on me, man.
Get in there.
Don't get in the car. He know it. He know it, police officer. Y'all hear me? Don't do me like that, man.
In the car.
Okay, can I talk to you, please?
You get in this car, we can talk.
I am claustrophobic.
I'm hearing you, but you're not
man.
working with me.
God, I'm claustrophobic, man.
You ain't
car,
breathing
man.
whatever you
Please,
in the
can you
car.
get me in the front? Please.
No, you're not getting in the front.
I'm claustrophobic, officer.
Get in the car.
Okay, man, okay? I'm not a bad guy, man.
Get in the car.
I'm not a bad guy. Oh, man. Open my doors. Please, officer. Please.
Sit.
Please.
Take a seat.
Please, man. Please. No,
Take a seat.
I can't choke. I can't breathe, officer. Please! Please!
Fine.
My wrist, man. My wrist, man, please. I can't take that, man. I can't. Man, I'm lay on the ground. I'm gonna lay on the ground. I'm gonna lay on the ground.
Get in the squad.
I'm gonna lay on the ground. I'm gonna lay on the ground. I'm going down. I'm going down. I'm going down.
Get in the squad.
I'm going down. I'm going down. I'm not gonna breathe. Bro, you want to die of a heart attack, man. Get in the car. I know I can't breathe. Get in the car. I got COVID, man. I can't breathe.
Take a seat.
Please, man. Please listen to me.
Is he going to jail?
Listen to me.
He's under arrest right now for forgery.
I tell you.
What's going on?
What?
Let's take him out and just take him
For what? Please, man. I can't fucking breathe.
Hey, come on out.
Look at you. Thank you. Thank you.
Lay him in.
Stay on the ground. On the ground.
My wrist. Right.
You got your restraint? Hobble?
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Jesus. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Thank you.
Not moving.
Mama. Mama.
Yeah,
Mama.
stay off.
Mama.
One of the front pouches
Mama.
on my right side bag.
Mama. Mama.
Get EMS code too. We're out.
You're the arrest guy.
All right. All right. Oh my God.
It's not going to jail.
I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this, man. Mama, I love you. Rich, I love you.
You got hobble?
In 2020, George Floyd says, I got shot last time.
Man, I got shot last time. Same way, man.
And you would have been the last officer to arrest George Floyd. Did you shoot him?
No, I didn't shoot him. No. The body camera is out there. It shows exactly what I did, exactly what the other officers did. No, we didn't shoot him.
How was George Floyd acting during that arrest in 2019?
Everything was almost identical. I mean, the initial stop, when I first started to approach him, you know, he was uncooperative. He wasn't listening to my commands. He was very agitated. Just keep your hands out where I can see him.
Spit it out.
Hey! Let me. Keep your hands where I can see him.
Let me see your hands.
Damn, man.
Stay in the car. Let me see your other hand.
I'm sorry.
Let me see your other hand.
Please, Miss
Both hands.
Do nothing.
Put your fucking hands up right now.
During the time, I couldn't see his hands. He was moving about. We found out later he's probably eating dope.
Hey, okay, man.
Open your mouth. Spit out what you got. Spit out what you got.
My mama, man. My mama, man, please, man.
Come on, lean back.
I can do anything more. I just lost my mom, man.
Step out and face away.
Go ahead and undo your seatbelt.
Don't shoot me, man. Please, I don't want to get shot.
I don't plan on shooting you. I'm just saying, just take your time.
Step out and face
Okay,
away.
Miss Officer, please don't shoot me. Please, man.
I'm not gonna shoot you.
Please.
Step out and face
No,
away.
I'm looking you eye to eye, man. Please don't shoot me, man.
Not shooting you, man.
Please.
For 5 whole excruciating minutes.
For 8 minutes and 46 seconds.
8:46, 8:46, 8 minutes and 46 seconds.
9 minutes and 29 seconds.
9 minutes and 29 seconds, right?
Actually, 8 minutes and 46 seconds.
Our heart and our solidarity are with folks who understand what happened Monday night to George Floyd.
The vast majority of people that have come together have been doing so peacefully.
Peaceful protest overnight in the Twin Cities, several dozen arrests at the state capitol. But
that entire time, they've been very peaceful. The crowd continues to be peaceful.
It started out as a lot of people gathering, which is, your First Amendment right, but it quickly changed.
My husband actually left for work before me. He works for Minneapolis Police Department, and he texted me on the way into work and said, "You're gonna have a bad day," and he was correct. The crowds got larger and larger and larger, so we knew that we were gonna have our hands full.
Each day, it just compounded. By the end of the day, it was probably 1,000 people. And then the next day, it was 4,000 people. And then the day after that, it was like 8,000 to 10,000 people. I think it's really important for people to understand that the police that were working the street at that time were dealing with situations that, in my mind, only you could think of as wartime.
This is like a modern-day war zone. I mean, this is unbelievable what is happening on the streets of Minneapolis.
So we are seeing someone being wheeled away, someone who looks pretty badly injured.
They threw a whole bunch of bottles and rocks, and I got hit in my mouth. I ended up breaking 3 more teeth.
Break that shit!
We were dodging water bottles, bricks, Roman candles, anything they could get their hands on.
It was crazy. It was like I was living in a third world country. I'm like, what is going on? Where do I live right now? And this is a thing that bothered me about government officials, is they let people sit back and throw rocks and bricks and fire bombs, and we're supposed to just put on a helmet and take that.
We are still taking rocks, frozen water bottles. They're shooting mortars at us. Can we escalate our use of force to deploy scat rounds?
1204, negative on the scat round. 1204, again, negative on the scat round. There's another plan in place, stand by.
When did you realize this wasn't a typical riot response?
Pretty early on, there was no response at all. They didn't say why, but I assumed they didn't want to make us look militant with the rioters. I actually had gear, but they were just saying, just wear your helmets and stand there, basically.
Obviously, they didn't take my request for more resources seriously, so we were just watching it unfold without less than lethal, without SWAT teams, without riot gear. Nobody had protective gear on. We were just in our uniforms.
At this point, they're not giving you permission to wear your riot gear?
No, there was no riot gear given to anybody at that point, and we're in the middle of a war zone. It was just officer after officer. Injured, back in. Send them home. Injured. I mean, it was 30 officers that evening probably that got injured while they were out there trying to deal with the riots.
We were in a squad car, me and my partner, and we were at Chicago and Lake. And we had a observe and report post, basically. So we watched them with our own two eyes break into the T-Mobile store, Foot Locker, Chicago Lake Liquors. We were given a play-by-play over the radio, and the only sponsor we would get back is just copy, observe, and report. We watched them loot, we watched them light the Molotov cocktail, and we watched them throw it into the building.
They're starting to throw Molotov cocktails.
We were ordered not to do anything.
Fire department wasn't responding, and we were trying to put out fires along, and cars were trying to run us off the road when we were trying to do that. All kinds of things were happening to our team. And it wasn't just me, but all the strike teams and all the officers during that time. The stuff that was going on, shots fired. It was completely utter chaos.
This was just kind of wandering around aimlessly, waiting to be told what not to do next.
Did you ever feel like there was a plan?
I am reaching to the command post over and over again about what's our plan, without any response whatsoever.
They're not saying anything at all?
No, nothing.
Command post, you copy?
Command, can you advise?
The elections were coming up. Everything's politically driven. They were going to use this incident for a political narrative, and they did.
It started with the tragic and senseless murder of George Floyd, and it extended through the week of righteous anger being expressed by community leaders and all people of conscience.
If you're feeling that sadness and that anger, it's not only understandable, it's right.
What am I saying?
I end up on the phone with the assistant chief. He's like, so our plan is we're gonna take all the squad cars and everything around and make the precinct look abandoned. And if no one's there, it shouldn't be a target. And I'm literally just staring at the phone like, how is this the plan? Like, there's thousands of protesters, there's thousands of rioters. They have dead pigs in front of us. That signifies they will kill a cop.
We were tasked to go down to the precinct to remove all of the shotguns and patrol rifles and ammunition from the precinct. When I got down there, you would swear it was kids moving out of college dormitory because there was moving trucks and everything out back, literally emptying out the precinct.
People were showing up at the precinct, gathering their things. So they'd come through the fence, get let in, go to the locker, grab their stuff, and walk out. I was like, where are you going? Oh, I'm just coming to get my stuff in case they give away the precinct. Like, it's got our museum stuff. Pretty soon, 2 vans showed up and cleaned out all the museum items.
You're talking 20, 30 years of pictures, artifacts that are on the wall supposed to be for eternity.
So you're a lieutenant in this building, and you don't even know that the plan is to surrender it later in the evening?
No, not even a clue. As they were like cleaning things out, they took all the cameras out because they didn't want the rioters to break them. We're now in a precinct with boarded up windows. I could tell what was going on outside. I couldn't see it, but you could hear it. You could tell. I knew there were fires. The radio traffic was completely insane. It was fire after fire after fire. The whole city was burning, just like night 1 and night 2.
Looks like the U.S. Bank building at 28th and Lake is on fire. Flames above the buildings in front of it.
Copy. U.S. Bank at 28th and Lake appears to be on fire.
Large fire east of the 3rd precinct.
Copy. Large fire east of the 3rd precinct, 2118.
I was shocked. I said, no way, no fucking way. And the city's not that stupid. They're not going to do that. You can't just give up a precinct. I did not think anybody in their right mind would think it would be a good tactical move to give up a precinct.
I made the decision to evacuate the 3rd precinct.
When do you get word that it's finally time to leave the building?
So I get a command over the radio that we need to evacuate the 3rd precinct.
Evacuate now, evacuate now.
I said, like, right now?
Do we have to evacuate right now?
And they said, yes, immediately.
You need to evacuate now. Evacuate, evacuate, evacuate.
I have 50-some people. I quickly get on the air and tell everyone to gather in the roll call room. I get a phone call from the head of 911 as I'm trying to do roll call, and she says, our whole 911 backup system is there. You need to go get the radios. And I'm like, okay, so either we're in so much danger that we're trying to evacuate right this second, or we're not. We're going now as fast as we possibly can. A few SWAT teams come in. I realize they are our escort out, and one of the SWAT team leaders looks at me and he says, why are we evacuating? And he's coming from the outside in, and I can't see on the outside of the building, so I'm like, why? And I don't know. He doesn't know, I don't know. We just have to evacuate.
Evacuate now, evacuate now. Time is 21:55.
They're about to breach the back gate.
Everything was happening so fast and there was such chaos. You know, the heart's racing right now talking about this.
And we run. We run with our belts on and 50-some people and 3 SWAT teams, and we get to the fence. We can't get out.
We gotta go where you're sitting just here.
There was only one way in and one way out, and the way out was locked.
1283, they breached the northwest corner of the front.
Northwest corner of the front has been breached.
They're coming in the back. We need to move,
Need to move now.
One of the squads rams through the fence to get it open.
I remember looking through the rearview mirror as we left. It looked like a zombie movie. They all just rushed to the fence and started climbing the fence, and they caused the fences to collapse, and then they just all rushed the precinct. And as we were driving down the line, every window got broken out of the squad car, driving the gauntlet down Snelling.
Can you even believe this is happening in that moment?
Never seen anything like it. And I had been involved in a lot of riots over a 30-year career. There were still people chasing us down the street. But as I got maybe a quarter block away, I realized that not everyone was in vehicles. They were running basically for their lives at that point because they just left them basically with no plan of attack or no plan of exit from the precinct. Just basically left us all on our own.
They were scared. I could see it. I knew them.
I can't even tell you how it felt in the pit of my stomach watching my friends run for their lives. It was something I hope to never experience again.
We ran probably 4 or 5 blocks, and eventually 2 buses show up. We get on, and it was just pure silence. I've never cried at work, and I couldn't control myself. I apologized to them. All I could do is say, I'm sorry, and they were like, this is not you. And I felt like I didn't save the precinct. I let them all down. I let all them down. And I just looked out the window and the whole city was on fire. Our precinct was on fire. And it was just like I'm watching a bad dream.
Copy, the precinct is on fire.
Get a citywide tone right now in our loss of the 3rd precinct.
Airing information citywide. The 3rd precinct has been compromised.
Cops do not run away. You run too.
The symbolism of a building cannot outweigh the importance of life, of our officers, or the public. We could not risk serious injury to anyone.
Mayor Fry decided that it was just a building. And I know there's probably several hundred cops and maybe some citizens that would disagree with that.
This has never happened in our country's history. Have you lost a police station or police precinct to a riot? Furthermore, forfeiting it. It was unbelievable then, and it still is now, that they chose to surrender that precinct.
You can't call it leadership. Lack of leadership.
You're not going to gain any confidence from anyone in the city by giving up your own property.
It sent that message, in your opinion?
Absolutely.
That's some police officer's home, and it had been their homes their entire career. But to him, it's just a building.
It was devastating. Everything was broken. Anything that we left in there was demolished. My office was torched. My office was actually the one part of the building that was still burning.
They weren't doing anything to control the riot. They didn't let us do our jobs.
We will continue to patrol the 3rd precinct entirely. We will continue to do our jobs in that area.
Ouchie,
What
man.
are you on something right now?
I'm not, no, nothing. Because you acting all erratic.
If George Floyd would have told the truth about fentanyl and methamphetamine, could that have helped to save his life?
Yes. Yes, it could have. That's proven by what happened the year before when he was arrested by Minneapolis police and he was putting tablets in his mouth.
Open your mouth. Spit out what you got. Spit out what you got.
He admitted at some point that he had swallowed a bunch of pills, and the paramedics came and talked to him and took his blood pressure, and his blood pressure was extremely high, 216 over 160, and so he ended up going to the hospital.
Put your hands up right now.
If he had admitted that he had again ingested pills in the car when they were attempting to arrest him, things could have turned out much differently.
That's what breathing's gonna go up on me, man.
Pull your legs in.
So we know now that the police body camera videos were withheld from the public and even the jurors. When you were able to see those videos, what was going through your mind?
I wish that those videos had been out sooner, that they hadn't been withheld for 2.5 months, because the videos portrayed quite a different story from what we had originally heard.
I can't joke. I can't breathe.
You mentioned you went through these police body camera videos minute by minute.
Right.
What troubled you most?
At the very end of Thomas Lane's body cam video.
One of us ride with?
Yeah.
Ride with?
Yeah.
I don't have my phone, so.
The paramedic handing the bag to Thomas Lane to ventilate the patient, you can see that the oxygen tubing is coiled up. It's not even attached to the oxygen source. That's a big mistake.
George Floyd was a healthy young man.
The autopsy shows that Mr. Floyd had no underlying medical problem that caused or contributed to his death.
Today, I filed an amended complaint that charges former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin with murder in the second degree for the death of George Floyd. I believe the evidence available to us now supports the stronger charge of second degree murder. We've consulted with each other and we agree. Finally, I'd like to announce that today, Hennepin County Attorney Michael Freeman and I filed a complaint that charges police officer King, Lane, and Tao with aiding and abetting murder in the second degree, a felony offense. I strongly believe that these developments are in the interest of justice for Mr. Floyd, his family, our community, and our state.
On behalf of the pastors and preachers from Minneapolis and St. Paul, the Bloods on the south side, Gangster Disciples and Vice Lords on the north side, Psalm 27.
When and how did you become concerned about the autopsy of George Floyd?
I think we all saw video and television coverage of this, and I saw one of the body camera footages from the police officers that showed that he was complaining of shortness of breath before entering into the car.
Right now. And I just had COVID, man. I don't want to go back to that. When I start breathing, it's going to go off on me, man.
Pull your legs in.
I started realizing that, hey, something was wrong with this. A few days later, I found out that the autopsy report was available online, and so I downloaded the autopsy report and read through it. When I did that, my jaw hit the floor.
No underlying medical problem. George Floyd was a healthy young man.
An article published in a peer-reviewed journal identified 17 errors in George Floyd's autopsy. Do these errors raise questions about how George Floyd died?
Yes. In patients that have acromegaly, they tend to die from cardiovascular complications such as heart attack or arrhythmias.
Do you feel in a way they were trying to hide this information?
I'm not sure if the medical examiners were trying to hide it, but it seems like the prosecutor team was trying to hide it. There's no mention of that in the original autopsy report, nor any of the other reviews. I wouldn't even call them autopsy reports, but other reviews by other medical examiners.
What do you think about that?
Very strange. It raises a lot of questions. The original autopsy was done 12 hours after he was declared dead. The official report that came out a little bit later, I'm told, was changed after the family had a review by 2 other forensic examiners. Those 2 examiners never did a physical autopsy, and in fact did not view any of the slides or pictures. They complained that they did not have those.
We acknowledge that additional medical information, including toxicology and further investigation, are necessary for a final report.
What do you think of the federal government's involvement in this case?
One of the first questions I asked was the FBI involved? And when I found out the FBI involvement was within 12 to 24 hours, that really raised a red flag for me. The FBI conducted a meeting with Dr. Baker, which
really raised another red flag. I think there's a lot of questions that remained unanswered with this. And when I study what happened and how people and our leaders reacted to this, I just shake my head and almost cry in compassion of what has happened to Minneapolis. And instead of bringing people together, we've had the opportunity to do that, but I think opportunity was taken to drive us apart.
Shaven is in the courtroom, but America's on trial.
Thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life for justice.
But even Dr. King's assassination did not have the worldwide impact that George Floyd's death did.
Just take him out and just.
For what?
MRE.
Please, man.
Stop resisting, man.
Jesus Christ. I can't breathe.
Thank you.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, EMS is on their way.
Tonight, barricades surround the Minneapolis courthouse where jury selection is set to begin Monday for the murder trial of Derek Chauvin.
The courtroom in a tower in downtown Minneapolis was ringed Monday with concrete barriers, barbed wire, and soldiers from the state's National Guard. Nearby businesses were closed and windows boarded up due to fears of arson and other property damage that occurred after Floyd's death.
But I'm going to tell you there's a new day in America and a new day in Minneapolis. And that day belongs to all of us when we demand for justice.
Go say his name! Say his name! Say his name!
So tell us about that. So at some point when you're there at the scene still, did a fire truck come?
Yes.
And they're coming to respond to the call.
They're
correct?
coming to respond to the call, and they went into Cup Foods to actually look for a victim, which is unique for that, there to be that much miscommunication.
Mr. Nelson.
You testified that you've been a firefighter now for 2 years approximately,
Correct.
and I see you're wearing your uniform today,
Correct.
and that would be like your dress uniform or your Class A uniform,
Correct.
and that's common to wear when you testify in court.
Correct.
Fair to say that you were not wearing your Class A or any uniform on May 25th, 2020?
Correct. I was off duty.
Right. Okay.
Are you really a firefighter?
Yes, I am
Okay.
from Minneapolis.
Okay, then get on the sidewalk.
Check his right
Charles,
fucking
check his
out.
pulse. Get back on the sidewalk. The man ain't moved yet, bro. Okay, where?
Minneapolis!
Okay.
Is it reasonable to assume that if a patient is having a medical emergency and the police are present, that they have called for EMS?
Your question is unclear because you don't know my job, so
Okay.
can't answer.
Sure. So let's take this scene, right? May 25th, 2020. You walk upon a scene, you see someone having a medical emergency, right? You did not call 911 to get the medics there, right?
Right.
Would it have been reasonable to assume that medics had already been called based on what you saw when you first arrived?
Yes.
We're calling for
I
EMS.
can't do nothing.
Yeah, EMS is on their way. My EMS.
And in fact, paramedics did respond, right? You saw the ambulance come up,
Yes, that's not their normal response time.
okay? And so you noticed there was some abnormal response time for medics.
Right, and I also noticed that that is precisely the kind of call that fire would respond to, and Station 17 is just a couple blocks away.
Okay. So do officers on scene decide, do we call for medic or fire?
I don't believe so. I believe that's dispatch. They call for medical.
So if
Attention.
police call dispatch and they say EMS, we need EMS code 3, it's dispatch who decides, do we send medics or fire?
Well, it would be medic. It would be fire with medics, not just fire ever. I don't know the answer to that.
Fair enough.
There were a few mistakes that turned out to be big mistakes in the way EMS was dispatched to the scene. So the fire department ended up at Cup Foods walking around looking for a patient when the paramedic had already updated the location. They had moved to 36th and Park, and so the fire department didn't know that. That's disturbing.
Right, Red? Yeah, I don't have my phone, so I'll be Baker. You just CPR. Okay.
Then as we're seeing, I'm like, the house says code 3, like I just don't understand. And then we figured out where it was. So, and then one of your officers was like, hey, ding dongs, you're the wrong spot.
You would agree, Chief, that from the perspective of Miss Frazier's camera, it appears that Officer Chauvin's knee is on the neck of Mr. Floyd.
Yes.
Would you agree that from the perspective of Officer King's body camera, it appears that Officer Chauvin's knee was more on Mr. Floyd's shoulder blade?
Yes.
I have no further questions.
I'd like to show you what's been received as Exhibit 17. Is this a trained technique that's by the Minneapolis Police Department when you were overseeing the training unit?
It is not.
And how does this differ?
I don't know what kind of improvised position that is. So that's not what we train.
All right. As you reflect on Exhibit 17, I must ask you, is this a trained Minneapolis Police Department defensive tactics technique?
It is not.
When I heard that part of the testimony, I really wanted to get up off my chair and yell, bullshit.
Several of those witnesses testified that MRT, or the maximal restraint technique, was not a part of Minneapolis police policy.
Oh, it wasn't part of the training. The pages that didn't want to be presented in court because they weren't in the manual. I've seen the manual. I've read through the manuals. I've seen them. They're not in the manuals? Well, they sure as hell are in Derek's training manuals. So how can they say that they don't exist?
That's Derek's manual.
These are Derek's training manuals.
And MRT is in there?
Yes, it's in there. So how can you say that's not part of the training? So the chief of police at that time told a frickin' lie.
This call is from a federal prison.
During the trial, several witnesses, including Chief Arredondo and Inspector Blackwell, testified that they didn't recognize the technique you and the other officers were using, as if it was not a part of Minneapolis police training. But was MRT, the maximal restraint technique, part of training and policy?
Absolutely. In fact, I'm looking at it right now. 5-316, maximal restraint technique, right in their written policy manual. The EMS and Minneapolis fire response was not normal. Normally, both those resources are sent. They arrive in short time, especially on a code 3 situation. In this case, Minneapolis Fire took 20 minutes plus to arrive, and their station's 8 blocks away. At the end of the day, the whole trial, including sentencing, was a sham.
So from that point, we saw you standing there on the sidewalk, just sort of standing still.
How's your name tag, bitch?
From there, did you stay in the area for a little while?
Yes.
And at some point, you made a 911 call.
Yes.
Why at that point did you call 911?
I think it all settled in that I wish I would have done that immediately, because it was ridiculous that fire station 17 was as close as it was, and that they hadn't been there. I should have called 911 immediately, but I didn't. And when things calmed down, I realized that I wanted them to know what was going on.
Your attorney wanted to show a photo of MRT to the jury, but Judge Cahill denied it. Was this a key piece of evidence?
I think it certainly is important. Just the fact that it's a PowerPoint training presentation that the City of Minneapolis Police Department delivered, using that photograph that at least illustrates some of the training techniques that are performed.
Were you trained in MRT, the maximal restraint technique?
Yes.
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 Yes, I was.
Yes, we all were. Yes, all the police officers were trained in the MRT.
Your police chief said on the stand that he didn't recognize that technique.
I heard him say that. It's tough to hear people lie, just straight lie. And again, goes right back to, for me, the good and the bad, like the right and the wrong. And for you to be under oath and just straight lie. The amount of training that we go through, I mean, it's consistent every single year. It's written down. It's on body cam. I mean, was that unfortunate? Absolutely. I know Derek Chauvin. It's absolutely horrific what happened, the whole scenario. But did he do anything intentionally to make that happen? No, it was all what we were trained on.
You helped to train Officer Alex King. What did you think of him?
I probably trained a few thousand people. He was probably one of the top two. Top 2 or 3 recruits I've ever had. Give me a minute.
From what I've seen of the videotape, what was done at the scene with George Floyd and the photograph in the police training manual, they look pretty identical.
So question 7 proposed by the defense was, after conducting your business in Cup Foods, did you return to the vehicle with Mr. Floyd? Mr. Hall cannot answer that question. Mr. Hall cannot put himself in that car with Mr. Floyd. Again, this was a car that was searched twice and drugs were recovered twice. If Mr. Hall puts himself in that car, he exposes himself to constructive possession charges of the drugs that were found in that car.
Knowing all that, you've had a chance to look at the questions that were proposed by both sides?
I have.
Would you be willing to answer those if I were to put you on the stand and swear you in as a witness?
No, I am not.
Okay, and why would you not answer those?
I'm fearful of criminal charges going forward. I have open charges that's not settled yet.
You testified that you were the officer who approached the passenger side of the vehicle. You approached George Floyd on May 6th of 2019, is that right?
That's correct, yes.
And Mr. Floyd didn't drop dead while you were interacting with him, correct?
No.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The city of Minneapolis has agreed to pay George Floyd's family $27 million to settle a civil lawsuit with his family as the jury selection continues for the trial of the officer charged with his murder.
You know, like you mentioned, there is no amount of money that can replace a brother, a son, a nephew, a father, a loved one. But what we can do is continue to work towards justice and equity and equality in the city of Minneapolis.
The city of Minneapolis would pay them the largest civil settlement of its kind, $27 million.
We're looking for a guilty verdict. We're looking for a guilty verdict.
What should protesters do?
Well, we got to stay on the street, and we've got to get more active. We've got to get more confrontational. We've got to make sure that they know that we mean business.
I'm aware of the media reports. I'm aware that Congresswoman Waters was talking specifically about this trial and about the unacceptability of anything less than a murder conviction and talk about being confrontational, but you can submit the press articles about that. A congresswoman's opinion really doesn't matter a whole lot.
This jury has, despite all best efforts, has been bombarded with information relevant to this case. It is impossible to stay away from it unless you literally shut off your phone or you shut off your TV, you shut off your computer, and no such instructions have been given during the course of this trial.
Well, to be fair, the last few times I've advised them, I told them don't watch the news. Pure and simple.
Derek was tried in a courthouse that was surrounded by barbed wire, concrete block, 2 armored personnel carriers, and a squad of National Guard troops, all of whom were there for one purpose, in the event the jury acquitted him. Every person in this country is entitled to a fair trial in a fair venue under the Constitution.
What kind of message do you think that sent to the jury seeing those scenes outside the courthouse every day?
I don't have to speculate on the message the jurors had in their minds. Every juror had a stake in the outcome of that case, because every juror knew that if there was a not guilty finding, there was a less than trivial and actually substantial risk that there would be riots in their community again.
Say his name! Say his name! Say his name!
What do you think your son's case says about the justice system in America?
Is there justice system in America? Not according to what they did to Derek and the other 3 officers. There isn't any. I don't believe in the justice system anymore.
As sentenced for count 1, the court commits you to the custody of the Commissioner of Corrections for a period of 270 months. That's 270. That is a 10-year addition to the presumptive sentence of 150 months. This is based on your abuse of a position of trust and authority, and also the particular cruelty shown to George Floyd.
This call is from a federal prison.
Do you blame Chauvin for any of this?
I don't. The way I see it is that he made the decisions he thought was right. As he did before, he's always been one that was by the book and legally abiding. I think he did exactly what he was trained to do. Unfortunate that the publicity got as riled up as it did by all the officials and politicians that were involved with the case, and it took away any chance he had to even say his piece.
What does this case say about the justice system in America?
I think, unfortunately, we've come to the point now where the justice system has been controlled by mob mentality. Social media, news outlets, peer pressures now control the outcomes of trials, investigations. The justice system no longer is really something you can trust, because if you're in any way on the negative side of the media, you're pretty much just going to have a trial by street, and no one ever wins in street trials with publicity that is already against you. There's just no real way to have a fair trial. We have a whole constitutional amendment about that is null and void.
Why then did you want to speak out?
The whole city is different. The police force lost so many people because of it. Just the amount of crisis that people went through. The media did a really good, strange job of reporting the way they wanted the narrative to go.
After what the world witnessed in the murder of George Floyd,
these 4 police officers are committing a series of actions that violate policies.
This news is disgusting, and they're immoral. At the stuff they reported, the lies they reported.
I saw the video. There was a lot of other angles that were excluded.
Jesus Christ.
A lot of training that was excluded.
What was it like going to 911 calls after the riots?
I was the first officer at multiple shootings. I was involved with gun calls, and I'm just like, one of these situations is not going to turn out good. I mean, no matter what I do, I'm going to be either the next Chauvin or I'm going to be shot or killed. And I go, I've already been injured twice in this job, bad. And now, now at the end of my career, I'm going to get hurt again or end up in prison.
When did you decide to leave the Minneapolis Police Department?
I've been in several riots in this city, or protests, or whatever you want to call them. And of all the different riots I've been in, that's probably the first time I've ever felt helpless. I found myself, for the first time ever, I kind of had a panic attack. It was a sense of helplessness. And that's a shitty feeling. I had woke my wife up at like 3 a.m, and I just told her, I think I can be done.
Going to work, though, was physically making me ill. It wasn't the flu. It wasn't a cold. It wasn't anything that I could put my finger on. It wasn't something that went away. It was the drive into the city, the knot in my stomach, the I'm gonna vomit, I'm gonna be sick. I knew something was was wrong.
I left the job about a month after the protests. I just couldn't do it anymore. We were one of the highest trained departments in the country. These were some of the best cops you would ever see in your lives, and a lot of those people are gone.
The last call I was ever on should have been a routine call. It was a simple hit and run. An officer just dispatched to a hit and run call. The victim has pictures of the car that took off, a description of the guy, and the guy drives by again. So the officer follows him, stops him. I think we had 4 officers there because people started yelling. I mean, this was just after the riots. Anytime we're out dealing with anybody, especially if a person of color, we were getting all kinds of screaming and yelling and everything else. It didn't take too long before we realized this guy was completely high on drugs. He was huge, too. He was probably 6'5". I mean, he was tall, way bigger than me, probably twice my size. And he's like, I'm not going to jail. And I'm like, okay, well, we got our body cameras on. We got 4 guys. And I'm thinking, well, this guy's drugged out. And he's like, well, I'm not going to jail, I'm going home. Pretty soon the fight's on. And we're fighting with this guy, trying to get him cuffed. We're not hitting him. We're not striking him or anything, but we're gonna go to the ground sooner or later because he's a big dude and we're gonna go to the ground. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, if this guy ODs, if this guy dies in our custody, 4 white cops at 17th in Chicago, 20 blocks from George Floyd, we're going to prison. And I'm looking at these guys and I go, we're going to fucking prison. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. It was a horrible day.
My father was a police officer. I grew up in Minneapolis. My family was here. And I didn't want to leave. It was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. I still have difficulties with it. You know, I didn't want to go. I love being a police officer, you know. But
one day sitting there having lunch, it was probably a group of 20 of us, and somebody had said, hey, LT, I heard you're leaving. What's your last day? And I said, well, today, in about 10 minutes. I said, in fact, could one of you guys give me a ride home because I had to leave my squad here? And the one guy that gave me a ride home, he's like, okay, let's, I got my squad right here. So we were in a marked squad. I still had a uniform on. And I see a guy walking. And I see as he's going to raise his hand. And I was like, oh, hey, somebody wants to wave at us. And then he flipped us off. And I went, holy crap, this was the right decision. Yeah. Everything changed. And it didn't have to. Had we had strong leadership, right from the very top. The governor, the mayor, our chief of police, the city council of Minneapolis, the assistant chief, and the deputy chiefs. This is how you treat your people. You just turn your back on us.
Do you go into Minneapolis anymore?
I have not been anywhere near the precinct. I can't bring myself to go to the precinct.
I mean, unless I absolutely have to, no. I've even missed a few funerals.
Why did you decide to stay on?
Well, I think for myself, mainly for pride. I worked really hard to get here, really hard. And I made a lot of sacrifices in my personal life to be able to don a uniform and stand for something. And I could not let evil win. They failed when they gave up that precinct. Our department still hasn't recovered from that. And it's 3 years later.
Morale is something that can ebb and flow, and it is something that I have to continue to monitor.
I do hear that the mayor talks that crime is down.
Crime is down. Crime is down. Say it with me. Crime is down.
I often wonder if we're looking at the same city. Overall, crime is way up.
Give me the keys, give me your money, everything. Keys, everything, everything.
How they ignore that or don't pay attention to that is beyond me. It's just another example of why we're in the situation we're in now.
Can you even keep up?
No. When I came on, we used to have a roll call of about 20 to 25 cops. I've had roll calls with 2 cops in them. So it's just not enough.
This council is going to dismantle this police department. All right, they're telling me to say it again. This council is going to dismantle this police department.
This government, not just in Minneapolis, but in the nation in general, has done a very good job, all the way to the White House, of demonizing law enforcement.
Do you believe there is systemic racism in law enforcement?
Absolutely. Now, with the element of, it seems, happy prosecutors to prosecute officers for mistakes made, makes it almost unbearable to do the job. And the policies passed makes it impossible to do the job that needs to be done.
Our commitment is to end our city's toxic relationship with the Minneapolis Police Department, to end policing as we know it.
This is the department that I believe will be on the right side of history. They are going to be on the right side of history, or they're going to be on the wrong side of history. Or they will be left behind. But I'm determined that we are going to be on the right side of history. Race is inextricably a part of the American policing system.
Don't run now! Don't run now, racist white people! I'm here! Oh yeah, we pull up! We pull the fuck up! And we here! Come on over here with your Blue Lives Matter sign! Blue Lives ain't shit! I won the primary election, and y'all can quote me on this. I am going to the state capitol with this same fucking message.
Do you think police and city leaders and the media were hiding the fact that your son is, in fact, a black officer?
I think they had such a hard time walking back a story that they had told that they would have done anything to maintain that story. You know, they have a story. Our family has a story. I have a story in my mind about what really went on as well. When I think about the conversation they must have had once the facts came out about the race of the officers. About the toxicology report, about the medical examiner's report, about the body cameras.
I can't choke! I can't breathe, love it!
And, you know, my story goes as they're sitting around looking at each other in a room going, okay, now what do we do? The truth and the facts don't match the story we've been telling everybody, and the media has been telling, what are we going to do now? And they look around in the room and ask each other, you know, who has the cojones to tell the truth? Is it going to be you, Arredondo? Is it going to be you, Benjamin Crump? Is it going to be you, Mayor Fry?
Get it, Jacob!
Who
who's going to be the one that's going to say, oh, you know, oops, we thought it was this, we were wrong. The facts don't support it. We're going to have to do something, we're going to have to say something. And they must have looked around the room and said, nope, not me. I don't have cojones. You have nope, I don't have them either. But they were able to loan a pair, I think, to Mr. Chief Arredondo so that he could, don't worry, we'll borrow you a pair so you can have them to go on stand and lie about the training these police officers have had, since you don't have any to tell the truth. And that actually, you know, is the story that makes more sense with the facts than the one that they were telling.
Alex, it seems practically everyone talks about how Officer Derek Chauvin, who is white, was with George Floyd for 8 or 9 minutes. But there's you, a black police officer who's with George Floyd for much longer, practically 18 minutes from the moment he was handcuffed until you close the ambulance door. Why is this fact rarely ever mentioned?
You know, that's a good question. Despite, like you said, the fact that I am black and that another colleague of mine, Tao, is Asian. So really half the attending officers were in the minority. I think that was something that they just didn't want to admit, specifically my race, because it goes very counterintuitive to the way the narrative goes. They couldn't backpedal.
This is where he grew up? Mm-hmm. Yep. Been here most of his life. It's our first house together. I've taught at 3 different North Side schools, so they all were students in the neighborhood, would live right around me. So yeah, the King name around here had a meaning in education and in the city, positive name. And it's no longer the case. That's hard to come to terms with.
What's it like for you to think about him every day in prison?
My greatest fear is that it's going to change who he is. That I just don't know who he's going to be when he comes out. So it is hard to think of him there. Every day is excruciating. And we tell him, you know, we know who you are. We know what a lie this is. And you don't have anything to apologize for.
What I observed was not training that I ever participated in, none that I observed other officers participating in.
I can't understand how an untruth or a lie can be so accepted without question. This is what happened, this is how they reacted, and this is why they reacted, and this was part of their training.
None of that was said?
None of that was said. You know, when you're constantly reminded about the worst day of your life and the tragedies that, gosh, are in the news every day, the ramifications of that day in terms of how police are treated in the city and how many have quit, and it's gotten so bad. That trajectory, you know, of the fallout of what happened, not just that day, but to the city afterwards, that continues to happen and across the country. I just can't understand why they don't see that. I mean, how can that not be seen? It's not the police that are the problem. Something else needs to change. How can that not be obvious when things have gotten so bad? the city itself has lost its appeal. A lot of trauma, and the plan is to find somewhere else where we can start fresh and not have all the bad memories.
How do you get through every day in prison, Alex?
Prison is a very, very unique experience, I can say. One I never thought I'd see myself in, but it's very easy to get caught up in a lot of self-wallowing and a lot of whatever thoughts you have in your own head. And the easiest way to do it is to take it day by day. Do little things here and there that you can keep doing to take time off your sentence, keep pushing the days forward, and just keep your head up and know that ultimately this isn't the end and this won't define me.
Alex, what do you want people to know about this case?
What's been done is done, and I just hope that at the very least, people in the future can keep an open mind and not let instances like this happen. Just use my case as an example, is to not jump the gun, not knee-jerk, not fall to this race bait, to the social media, to the media, and let them get away with what they do. Because if things like this keep happening, no one anywhere is going to have any sense of justice left.
Okay, well, there you have it. If that does not say to you, we are about to fall into this same hole again, then I don't know what can save you from all of it happening to you again. Because this is exactly the same thing. The narrative has been pushed by one side. One side. Derek Chauvin was stabbed 22 times while serving his sentence for not killing George Floyd. The facts bear out the story. How can they still, to this day, deny that and double down? That's what they do. They double down on the lies as if there are no consequences to their actions. I just find it astounding. Because, there was a statement in there by Joe Biden that said that the killing of George Floyd had a bigger world impact than the murdering of Martin Luther King. Well, no shit, Joe. There was no internet back then. The world wasn't watching. The world got it later. I don't think you get it at all. But that's Joe Biden for you. The facts are clear that the chief of police lied. He lied. Straight up. And the legal system was complicit. There's no other way to explain what that judge did by removing certain testimony, by excluding certain evidence, There is no other explanation except for being complicit. How else could you explain it? Now, you heard Senator Waters around that time saying you have to get on the streets, you have to stay on the streets, you have to be more confrontational. After this, the city had just burned down or was on fire. She's telling people to be more confrontational. How is that not a crime of incitement? She was never charged. The judge said, point blank, her opinion's got no bearing on this case. Like shit it doesn't. Because it wasn't just her saying it. It was Ayanna Presley and Jayapal and all the squad. Kamala Harris, as the vice president, said it's not going to stop and nor should it stop. They were her words. How do you justify that? And not recognise what's happening today is a carbon copy, if not for the same reason, but a carbon copy of what's going to happen to this officer that pulled the trigger. And who knows who else they'll try and throw in the mix. They might say that the officer that was trying to get her out of the car was breaking the law. He was trying to kidnap her or something. Don't put it past these people to make shit up. That's all they do. That's all they can do. The police officer, the numbers now in Minnesota, if they're still what they were after this documentary was filmed, it was over 800 people, and it's down to like just over 500 officers now to patrol this whole city. Like, where's their backup? Like, why are they backing up the same people that let them burn? Jacob Fry, they all wanted the police to be defunded. And now the police, those same police officers, are standing at press conferences, nodding their heads approvingly of Jacob Fry initiating more violence. Because it's not the officers that have to face the violence, because they've been told, don't help, you stay away. So these policemen are now going to stand back and watch other fellow law officers get targeted, get bombed, get shot, shoved, whatever, just like they persecuted just 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was, 2019, 2020, right? Don't forget who left you to burn, who left you to be punching bags for these crazy leftist maniacs that they are again encouraging onto your streets to burn down your buildings. Because don't forget, once they start burning down stuff, you got to respond to that. That's not ISIS' problem. That's not their problem. That'll be yours. And we'll see if they care whether you're ICE, DBP, or just a police officer going to work, trying to make a living, thought that he was doing the right thing by lying again to the public. Minnesotans need to get out of their houses and make their voices patriotically and peacefully heard against these idiots. You will never, ever escape this lifestyle if you don't stand up to the authoritarian people that only 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you were defending. You were defending them, saying, back the blue. The police didn't deserve what they got during the George Floyd riots. We supported all of the officers. These officers that you just saw. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? That number, 380 officers left on the police force in Minnesota, that's going to be a lot less after this weekend or this month, whatever it is, however long they let this fire burn this time. Because we know that it is a fact that that's what will happen. Because these people have no boundaries. How are they allowed to set up autonomous zones? How are they allowed to do that? That is given to them by your government, your state government. Tim Walz, Jacob Fry, that stupid Ellison, and you all noticed, I hope you all noticed that the son of the AG, Keith Ellison, is a member of the city council who was advocating for defunding the police. He said it plain and simple. The president of the council, end policing as we know it. End policing as we know it. Well, I've got some good news for you. You succeeded. You have ended policing as we know it. Because 3 years ago, you wanted the police gone. Now, you just want them to protect you from the evil ICE agents that are trying to get out the rapists and the murderers. You're sick and evil and twisted. And please, God, let their punishment be known to them upon their arrival before thine eyes. Make it hurt, make it painful, please, because these people do not understand the pain that they are putting others through by acting this way. They are selfish, self-centered, self-absorbed. That's all they care about, themselves and the power that they wield. Crazy. They couldn't backpedal on the stance that they had, the narrative that they had shaped. They couldn't backpedal on it once the facts did come out. And they're trying to do that now with this current disaster. But they can't, because the more stuff that's coming out, as with George Floyd and Derek Chauvin and the other officers, they can't backpedal. So they have no choice but to double and triple down on the lies. And they don't care if it's ICE, CBP, or the local police department employed by the taxpayers of Minnesota, which currently stand at fatal numbers for the police if this breaks out again. Because you can bet your bottom dollar, baby, that the Kyle Rittenhouses and of the world are not going to be coming out to protect your asses when the city burns this time. I pray that they come out to help the ICE officers continue their missions to remove these foreigners, illegal foreigners, from your streets. And you might not like me saying that, but I'm sure that there are good people out there that deserve to feel safe in their homes and in their cities, because their government doesn't believe that. Their government believes that all for one and one for all. You take what you want, whenever you want, however you want, whether it be violently or stealthily. Just take it, because we're not going to stop you. Lest we forget, people, lest we forget. Now, upon some investigation while that film was playing, I realised that the volume was not coming through on all of the clips that I played earlier. So I apologise for that, and I'm glad that I was able to fix it before the majority of the film had passed and that you didn't get to hear word one. So, you know, I'm glad I got to fix it, but I'm going to just quickly play those clips again, a couple of clips that were not able to be heard, because in some of the cases the sound is what is the most important part, especially in the body cam video that I showed at the beginning of the segment. And where is it? It was here. Okay, so sorry, I have to get this all organised. Oop, no, wrong one. That's the one. Right. And let's press play. So this is the video that has been dropped from the body cam of the shooting officer. And obviously, like I said, you couldn't hear the sound before. I'm sure you've heard it. I'm sure you've seen it. It's all over the place. But it's the most important part, because, as I said, I believe the shot went off upon impact with the officer, who was trained, had the gun trained on her vehicle as she was barreling towards him. So, once again, listen for yourselves.
I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car. Whoa!
There you go, you heard it. Double.
I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car. Whoa!
I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy.
Oh, God. Technical difficulties.
Fucking car. Get out of the car. Whoa!
I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car. Whoa!
So you can definitely hear that the officer's gun
I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
goes off
Out of the car.
the impact
Get out of the
of
fucking
the
car.
car hitting
Get out of the car. Whoa!
and then two more shots.
I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car.
And now listen to what she said.
Get out of the car. Whoa!
Drive, baby, drive, drive. As I said earlier on, she is as much to blame, if not more to blame, than Renee herself. Because she, with her yelling, drive, drive, may have startled her into taking off. I know that it's very easy to be startled, like, she might not have even realised that it was her wife trying to open that side door. She might have thought that it was another ICE agent. And she was trying to, like, we'll never know what was going through her mind because a bullet went through it. I know that was really impactful. Said it, but hey, it is an opinion show. Now, in my opinion, I'm going to say that was a straight shoot. Regardless of which shot took her out, she struck the officer and attempted to flee the scene. The officer shot in self-defense and in order to stop her fleeing the scene. And you cannot dispute that. You cannot. She was warned. Her girlfriend told her to drive. She drove erratically. Perhaps couldn't even control the direction of the vehicle because of the ice. You see the tyres flipping. So, but you can mark my words that this officer is going to have to go through all of that crap that Derek Chauvin went through and the other officers went through, because the system is corrupt. And how much do you want to bet that when this does go to trial, if it goes to trial in Minneapolis, we'll have the same judge that sentenced Chauvin to however many years it sentenced him to, 20 odd plus years or whatever it was. This is weaponization of government, is what it is. Just like she weaponized her car, the council, the AG, the mayor and the governor are weaponizing the system of government against this ICE officer. And he will pay the price, because they doubled down on the lies last time and they won. Derek Chauvin is in prison. Derek Chauvin suffered 22 stab wounds and in an attempted killing of him by two people, two prison mates. Shivved him. The other officer that she was talking to at the end, still in prison. I don't believe that President Trump has pardoned them, or even can, because it was a state thing. But here, I pray that it is taken seriously by Pam Bondi and tried as a federal crime against a federal officer. Because if it's not, then Pam Bondi is bowing to the criminal behaviour of the Minnesota government and legislators and legal system, the criminal justice system. She's bowing to them if she does not take this on as a federal case. And this will happen again. Minneapolis will fall, and it terrifies me because I know people that live in Minneapolis. I know people that live in Minneapolis who are very good friends of mine, and she grew up there. So I don't want it to burn. I want to see it prosper. But how can it in amongst all of this? We've got to remember this all started. Like, the attention back on Minnesota started a week or so ago when Nick Shirley exposed all that fraud with the childcare centres. And that's just the tip of the iceberg from all accounts. So where do we go? Like, where do they go from here? What are they going to do? Especially these police officers, as I said. Lest you forget what they did to you last time and allow it to happen to somebody else. Strength of character you've got to back the blue, even if it's green fatigues of ice. It's dumbfounding to me. So I don't know where to go or what to say. It's beyond comprehension, and I haven't even seen the news today to see whether these protests and marches are still occurring. I know the last that I saw, they were beating drums and playing loud music and whistles at a hotel in Minneapolis where they thought that the ICE officers were sleeping. I don't know whether that reports, some confirm that they weren't sleeping there, some confirm that they were, so, you know, it's neither here nor there. It's not the officers that, not just the officers that they're disturbing, it's the hard-working people that have to get up and go to their jobs the next day, unlike these people whose job is doing what they were doing. Standing around all hours, having shifts, breaks, getting lunch money to buy a burrito so they don't have to march on an empty stomach or terrorise on an empty stomach or burn a building down on an empty stomach. Very, very unstable waters in Minnesota, in the Twin Cities, and spreading. Definitely spreading. As I mentioned earlier, you know, Iran's burning. There are protests all over the world. People are fed up. Venezuela is trying to crack down on the people that are happy that Maduro's gone, and they're not caring anymore. They're behaving in the same way to a degree as these leftist maniacs burning the place down, like Iran. Is it here? Here's the first one. Hang on. This is why I hate this thing. Oh, the mouse. It's the bane of my existence. Okay, so we're gonna go back here. And no, I keep doing the wrong one. So this is, I'm not sure who this Neuberg is. I just happened to be given this link. So people of Tehran are burning down regime buildings right now. The crowd is massive. And this one, reportedly they are here breaking into physical entry into a protected clerical site, meant to permanent and control. These compounds aren't just residences, they are power markers, walled and guarded, untouchable until they are. So this is apparently from whoever they were. The reports are that the Ayatollah has left as well, or is imminently planning to. guess he's just trying to load up the last of his pallets of cash before he flees to Qatar, which is probably where he will end up, or Russia, or China. Oh, I don't think he could cope in China because he knows G would have killed, said something crosswords to him. So, you know, there's that. And then, oh, this one. This was the protester. This is, I showed you this first, I think. This was the protester actually admitting that he's being paid to protest. So, and as I said, there is another woman that said she quit her job to be a full-time protester. Who does that? Especially in this economy. Who quits their job to become a full-time protester if protests are naturally organic and aren't organised and paid for? Because you see it every time. All of a sudden, if a rally, if there's a reason to have a protest, all of a sudden within a matter of hours they've got printed t-shirts and signs and posters and big flags walking down the street. Like, wake up, people are paying for this. Those drop kicks that you see, these people that you see here, they don't have the temerity, let alone the money, to organise these things. This is done at the highest level that is not spoken about. It is taboo for the media to speak about where these people are funded by. That's why I say J.D. Vance was correct in saying we need to find out who pays for the brick.
Shame! Shame!
Do you have a job?
So human race.
Do you have a job?
Shame! Shame! I'm getting paid right now! Shame! 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 Shame!
She's getting paid right now. Like, if that doesn't do it for you, I don't know what more convincing it's going to take. These people are, like, crazy. The people funding them are evil, but the people participating in them are crazy. Craven, even. And by my account, Renee and Rebecca Good were at fault for her death. She at fault for urging her girlfriend, wife, whatever she chooses to call her. It wasn't legal. We found that out too. They weren't legally married. They were just de facto. So there's that. And in, you know, most cases, the de facto doesn't really have any claim on anything. And also depending on how long the relationship was. Now, she was 37, I think, at the time of her death, and she was married twice prior to that and had 3 children with 2 men. So did she just like fall into this lesbianism because she was tired of her men dying on her or taking her kids from her? Like, was she brainwashed by Rebecca into this lifestyle that got her killed ultimately? These are questions that should be asked. No one's asking them. No one's trying to compare this to the George Floyd riots on the mainstream media side, because God forbid if they did that. They would lose all support. And honestly, to be honest with you, I believe that the Minnesota police officers will have a lot to answer for. And they should. So I hope Pam Bondi is up to the task, because she's let a whole lot of stuff slide in her tenure there at the moment. With Dan Bongino, don't even want to go there, because, you know, I don't want to say the things that I'm thinking about Dan Bongino after the way he's carried on over the last few days since his resignation. Right? Will it come out later that he was fired, maybe? I don't know. I'll tell you what I do know. I don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth anymore, whether he's behind the badge or in front of it, because he lost our trust. He lost it when he sat there with Kash Patel and said, I've read the file. He killed himself. Blatant. And his big bust just before he resigned in regards to the pipe bomb, which was another big thing he harped on about on his show. Reports saying that he was framed up. Just what I've heard. Easier to believe now after seeing Dan's behaviour? Certainly is. Came out against Matt Gates, accused him of being a grifter and a sleazebag. What has gotten into Dan Bongino? Has the mind virus got him? The earwig? He's got it, it's burrowing into his brain now. Big disappointment. We've been so disappointed by so many people in this last 12 months. Pam Bondi's at the top of the list. The top. Very close to Susie Wiles. That's the state of the nation with the Trump administration at the moment. If there is any puppetry going on, it's at the behest of Susie Wiles. She is the gatekeeper. So, think what you want about that. But I think all the facts are there. And again, as I say, the facts will bear out the case. Eventually. Because they always get found out. Even though there are no repercussions and none of them ever apologise, they still get found out. And then they just rather not talk about it. Or plead the fifth. Or make shit up. To divert your attention. And it works for them every single time. Don't know what's going to happen. I know we're in trouble here. Big trouble. I'm still banned on X as per my last rant. But, you know, I don't really care. If somebody thinks that me wishing that our Prime Minister was arrested for corrupt behaviours or practices as the leader of this country, if I can't wish for that, since I have no other power to remove him except for a vote, which, as I said last week, I believe was rigged, then there is no free speech. It simply doesn't exist. One of my friends has been pinged up a couple of times in the last 2 days for expressing her opinion about certain people on X. The larger accounts that she's responding to, they don't get pinged. Same with me. The larger account doesn't get pinged. Elon Musk himself retweeted one of his posts the other day. The same person that I'm being banned for, responding to his tweet. So, tell me where's free speech, because I can't see it anywhere. It gets the lights in my eyes. But it certainly ain't in this country. And if you let Minneapolis happen again, it ain't going to be in yours either. Because if history says anything about midterms, it's that the sitting government does not win them. Very rarely. So if that's what we're facing in November this year, you can bet your bottom dollar the next 2 years are going to be impeachments and riots. That's it. That's all the rest of the Trump administration will consist of. Impeaching him and quelling riots. And I don't know if they've got, as the other lady, as the mother of Alex said, the cojones to stop it or prevent it from happening. If they get control of Congress, they've lost control of the country. And it's a pure and simple fact. But you never know. The future is unwritten. Anyway, I have gone pretty long today, I guess, probably close to 3 hours or more now with the movie and the hiccups from before, and I'm going to investigate that again and see if I can get it to work like the last podcast, which seemed to go flawlessly under the same settings as... But anyway, it is 5 to 7 in the evening here, and I'm going to get myself out of the bunker and go make some dinner for my family. I believe it is just Saturday morning in some places, and I do believe that there wasn't that many people watching because you were all asleep over there. That's what I'm hoping anyway, not that I was boring. But anyway, okay guys, I'm going to end it there. I'm going to get back into the news cycle and see what's going on. There's probably other stuff that I completely forgot to talk about. But I do apologise if I forgot anything, and also I do apologise for putting you through those earlier clips like they were short and not being able to hear them, because that sucks. Okay, so what do we say when we leave the bunker? Everybody has got to keep the faith, follow the facts, and find the fight. Have a great day. MAGA out.